Welcome aboard. Peter, I've got you along to have a bit of a chat today. If you could just give us a little bit on your background, and we'll have a bit of a conversation today about the difference between managing people in a larger corporation and the practicalities of what that actually looks like in small business. So you've been doing this for longer than I've been alive, right?
Yeah, I was in HR before it was called HR. So coming up to nearly 50 years in the field. So and that spanned 15 years in the public sector, a number of years in the private sector, a senior consultant at Vecchi, and my own business since 2000. So over that journey, I've sort of consulted to hundreds of organisations, and in the latest rendition, really focused on helping small to medium businesses with what I call people business, because it's not the same as corporate HR.
What would you define as a small to medium business in terms of size?
Look, the definition is sort of based on when organisations typically recruit their own specialist HR person, which in years gone by used to be 100 employees, and the benchmark's now about 50.
hmm
So, yeah, anywhere up to about 50 employees.
And you use the term people businesses?
I use the term people business rather than HR because HR was built in corporates to suit corporate needs. It's where the HR roles were, it's where the HR people were, and it's largely been driven by risk management and enforcement mentality. So to protect the organisation from prosecution for breaches, albeit that a lot of them are not doing that well at that. Whereas with small to medium businesses, it's relationships that really drive the business. So you have to go about it with a people first approach. And yes, you do need some documentation and some processes, both to ensure compliance and also so that people know how issues are managed in business and you get, sort of the right people in the right spots and all that. But it's very much about building positive relationships with people and then putting in a bit of process to support that.
Maybe a silly question, but what's the payoff for doing that correctly?
Employee engagement, profitability, productivity, low absenteeism, high performance. And it's ironic that we've now had these positive duty to eliminate psychosocial hazards that's been introduced. If you actually flip them from being hazards for being positives, they're the attributes that make a flourishing workplace.